just another town in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates. And I don't know, it's very nice, it's very quiet as you can tell, not a lot of traffic, in fact none. In fact, it's amazing. This is the sustainable city.
First of all, thank you for coming. I mean, this is it's a delight to show you all of this. So this is the sustainable city, and we regard it as our goal is to have a net zero energy development. So everything you see, first of all, the principal design element is to reduce the energy intensity of the city. And so if you notice as we drive through those streets, the orientation of the villas, you know, these villas, they benefit from the shade. We decided to design and to orient all the villas towards the north. So all these villas are north orienting, which means they get a lot of shade and we avoid the sun. Right. And that is so important in this part of the world, because otherwise your air conditioning cost is going to go up through the roof, and that's not good for carbon and carbon emissions. We also have UV reflective paint, which means you deflect a lot of sunlight and you reduce the thermal heat gain.
Right.
The windows also have tremendous thermal values, and the roof as well.
It's such an attractive place to live. I mean, we're now going past these beautiful ponds.
Yeah, these are the water features.
Right.
This is actually grey water, and this comes out of our wash basin. This is water from the showers,
right, and
the washing machine, and we actually treat it. We separate the water which enters the city into two streams. So we have black water and grey water.
Right.
So what you just saw is the grey water that is treated, and we treat it here in-site or on-site in the community, and you will see that in a bit. And then we pump it up through that stream, and we have these storage ponds. And all along this farm, we're now driving through the farm, which runs the length of the city. We tap into the grey water system to irrigate the landscape, and we also use the grey water to keep these pads, if you can see those streaks, those streak marks, you know, those pads, we keep them moist with treated grey water, and those are pads that we utilize to cool the biodomes.
Right.
So they actually provide fresh air into the biodomes, and we're going to enter one of those and see what's inside.
Wow. And then this is the thing that I first saw when I arrived, is that all the car park space is shaded with solar panels, which is so sensible.
Yeah, well, 2 points. First of all the cars are assembled. So we wanted to keep the cars away from the clusters, which means when we drove through a cluster, it is completely car-free.
Right.
That's amazing for kids.
I've seen lots of kids
exactly.
Around, yeah.
This is their space. The entire cluster is their space. So we have all the cars in one location and under a roof panel. And so we have in the city, we actually have 10 megawatt peak installed. Let me put that into perspective. Wow. That's 40,000 panels, PV panels. So far we've installed 26,000. And of those 10 megawatt, 3 megawatt come from the parking areas.
Wow.
So that's a lot of electricity.
Yes.
So we can produce 10 megawatt hour of electrical energy, solar energy per day.
Wow.
And this feeds into the grid.
Yeah.
This feeds into the grid because we are grid connected, and then we tap from the grid. You know, we take it back to supply energy in different sections of the city.
Right.
All the services, the cooling pads, the farm, the street lights, the water features, all of that is actually utilizing electricity from the car parks.
Right. Yeah.
So there is one community pool, and this has always been a contentious point about sustainability. But you know, we've designed in such a way. First of all, this is a closed system, so the water is filtered.
Yeah.
And we just top it up, replenish it because of evaporation during the summer.
Right.
And we have a very environmentally friendly treatment system as well installed. The picture that you see here, this water is streaming down. This is grey water, treated, and we have a little bit of slope. So we utilize the slope to have that movement of
and
water.
is it cleaned as it's?
So it's treated. It is, first of all, it is treated, and then we improve the treatment. If you notice these grass, this is papyrus.
Right.
That's what they had in Egypt, right, to make paper, for example. And those are called biofilters. So we planted those, and they're actually soaked down in the water, and they biofilter the water as well because there's a lot of nutrient uptake.
Yeah.
So they improve the water quality even more. The trees that you see now, the landscape here is only 2 years old. So what you see is only 2 years old. So we've tried to balance between the amenity and the utility value of a landscape. We don't just want beautiful trees and landscapes and shrubs. We also want to have trees that are going to bring something back to us. So the date palms, these we pollinate in the spring, and then we're going to harvest. We harvest the dates in August. And then the trees scattered along the farm, we have avocado, papaya, pomegranates, mulberry, fig trees. So those are spread, and they will benefit from the shade of the palm trees. And all of that is actually irrigated with treated sewage effluent. So these pipes that you're going to see everywhere,
Right.
this is actually treated sewage effluent.
Right. Wow.
And so right here on our left now, what you're going to see other buggies, is the grey water treatment plants. So it's underground, and it's just next to the villas, so
Yeah.
people are not offended by it. No odors whatsoever. That's the water that we treat.
Lovely plants. I can't smell anything else. Yeah.
That's the water that we treat, and then we store it in the lake, and then we pump it up, and then it trickles down again, and we tap from the lake for irrigation purposes.
Right.
We have recycling stations spread
Everywhere,
throughout
yeah.
the city. So we have a ratio. We actually have 9 of these for every 90 villas. So this is the farming that we try to have for the cooler climate. So
Right.
for about 6 months of the year, we can grow food outside. And this is actually managed by the community, by residents.
Right.
And some of that furniture that you see scattered, these benches, the picnic tables,
Yeah.
and this giant
Yes,
table
the
or
giant
chair,
yeah.
this is made of construction waste. This is
Right.
all construction waste from phase 1. Wood pallets and
Right, and the plant boxes and everything like that. Oh,
exactly,
great.
and the planters. Now, just to talk about carbon, on average in the world, each one of us, from UK to Dubai to Lebanon to Australia,
Yeah.
we emit on average 7 metric tons of carbon dioxide per person per year. Here, we did our estimates because we're doing a greenhouse gas inventory of the city, and we are at approximately 3.1 metric tons per person per year.
Right.
That applies for residents living in the city,
Wow.
including commutes to outside the city.
Wow.
So,
And you're talking people who've got, a lot of people have quite substantially large vehicles in Dubai.
unfortunately,
they're not all in super little eco.
So this is something we have our own targets as well to transform the mobility not only inside the city, because that's we've achieved that already
Yes.
with electric vehicles and buggies and bicycle tracks and jogging tracks,
Yeah.
etc. So we've provided that, but more importantly, we want people to begin to switch
Yeah.
to electric vehicles. And so we've done 2 things so far. We've provided charging stations. Second, and that's really unique, as a developer, we are actually providing an incentive, a subsidy to villa owners who wish to purchase an electric vehicle
Right.
and who live in the city.
Wow.
So if you live in the city and you are a villa owner, you will receive up to 10,000 euros or 40,000 dirham towards your first EV purchase.
Wow.
So that's the
that's a big
incentive. So
incentive, yeah.
that's part of your sales contract,
Right.
So whether you make use of it or not, that's your choice.
This is amazing.
Yeah, so we have 11 of those.
Right.
And this is our, attempt to grow food. We started with herbs. We now have we spent most of last year, 2016, experimenting with different herbs and different
Right.
temperatures, and so we've now selected 40 herbs. What you see here in this biodome, we have leek, we have parsley, we have mint, we have basil, chicory, spinach,
Spinach over there.
coriander, cherry tomatoes, lettuce.
Because it's much cooler in here than outside, but then the fans are blowing air,
So
they're sucking air outside.
this is the beauty of having a low-tech solution. This is
Yeah.
a desert technology.
Right.
This has existed for more than 40 years in farms all across the Arabian Desert.
Right.
And the system is very simple. We call it fans and pads.
Right.
Fan and pads. So we have 4 fans blowing air out. Then you have a negative pressure inside. So passively, air is
That's
going to flow
sucking
in.
it through those.
It's going to flow in.
Right, now I
because you're
understand.
blowing
Yeah.
air out.
Yeah.
These are called pads. It's like cardboard, corrugated cardboard.
Right.
And then we wet them. We moist them all the time with treated grey water. So if you see them, you have these streaks of water.
You can just see some drips coming
Exactly.
down.
And if you stand in front of it, it's like an air conditioning system.
Wow.
So the temperature is going to drop from 45 to about 30.
But the other thing is, if you were doing this 10 years ago, you would be, burning some form of fossil fuels in order to run the motors that drive the fans. But all this
fans-
electricity is all coming from solar.
So this is coming from the car parts that we saw.
Yeah.
That's what we call the solar farm. And these are just motors. Doesn't
Yeah.
take a lot of
It's
power.
very simple. It's very, simple technology. Yeah.
Just motors.
Yeah.
So there's no air conditioning system.
Right.